Welcome and good evening, Black-owned economy family. Welcome to another edition of our B.O.E Rooms. This is episode 5 of 2020. This is actually our second episode for April. April is all to do with businesses which were set up in 2020. As we know, 2020 was a really difficult year in a number of ways and for a number of reasons. But we're trying to shine a positive light on 2020, and there's no better way than having businesses who were set up tell you how they've managed to come out at the other end shining. So today we have a business called Sister to Sister, and we have 3 hosts this evening, which are co-founders and directors of Sister Sister. I won't tell you too much about their business because I want them to promote and talk about their business themselves. So without further ado, I will hand you over to our host this evening.
Hi. Thanks for joining us this evening. Thanks for the introduction. So we're Sister to Sister. Just want to say thank you for joining us and giving up an hour of your time where we're actually going to be talking to you a little bit about how we set up our organisation in the midst of a pandemic. So just a quick overview of who we are. So Sister to Sister is a social enterprise. We support ethnic minority females between the ages of 13 and 21 within education establishments, and also we offer a mentoring service as well. But we'll tell you a little bit more about that later on. So we're just going to start with our elevator pitches. So all of us are very much into personal development and growing as individuals, as well as, instilling those skills into our young people. So we've not delivered our elevator pitches in a public arena before. And as we all know, nothing grows in your comfort zone. So we're going to give it a go. We'd be grateful for any comments or feedback in the chat, just about how we've done, maybe the speed or the pace that we've said our elevator pitches, because we have been rehearsing them and we thought today would be a great opportunity to share them with yourselves, and let's see how we get on. So I'm going to start. Okay, so hi, I'm Chantel, author, mentor, teacher, director and co-founder of Sister to Sister, a social enterprise supporting young ethnic minority females between the ages of 13 and 21. We work with educational establishments to empower their ethnic minority females through our empowerment programs. We also work with parents and families to help them nurture their daughters through our mentoring programs. What makes Sister to Sister unique is the strategies and techniques that we use are the very same strategies that I use to help me live a life full of passion and purpose. So if, like us, you're passionate about supporting young females between the ages of 13 and 21, then please do get in contact with us. I'll hand you over to Dionne and she'll do hers.
Yay. Okay, here goes. Let me try and see that. Well done, Shan. That was really good.
Well done, Shan.
Well done. Let me try. Okay then. So hi, I'm Dionne. I am a lawyer, mentor and co-founder of Sister to Sister, which is a social enterprise. We are finalists of the Great British Entrepreneurial Awards 2020. We work with educational establishments and in community settings to help support Black, Asian, ethnic minority females to overcome the intergenerational challenges that they face in their lives. Now, we also offer a support package to parents. That's via our one-to-one Big Sister mentoring program. And the reason why I'm just so passionate about the work that we do is because I've actually witnessed the downward trajectory in the lives of ethnic minority females when they lack positive influences. And for me, Sister to Sister is so unique because we actually use our lived experiences to relate to our girls, and we share with them the very framework that we've used to grow as individuals. Now, if like us, you believe that where you go depends upon who you choose to be from this moment on, and you actually care about investing in the future of young ethnic minority females, then please get in contact with us. We'd love to work with you.
Hey, well done, Dionne.
Yes, well done, Dee.
Yeah.
Okay, my turn. Okay, here we go. Okay, so hi, I'm Kanika. I'm a psychotherapist, university lecturer and co-founder of Sister to Sister. We are a social enterprise that supports young Black, Asian and ethnic minority females to reach their full potential by instilling them with the tools to lead a life of vision and purpose. We offer a range of bespoke services to meet the needs of our females, whether this be through our educational empowerment program, which is based in educational settings, or working one-to-one through our Big Sister mentoring program. I'm really passionate about helping young females to realise their potential and fight against the social inequalities that exist within disadvantaged communities, which are then passed on through generations. So at Sister to Sister, we understand the importance of positive role models in helping young females embrace their background, whilst also striving to be the best version of themselves. We want to help people with their own journey and to be able to, navigate a life with confidence. So we will help with this. And also for those who don't even know where they want to start with these type of things for themselves, we want to be able to help them and support them to be able to, live a life of vision and purpose with clarity. Mm-hmm. So if, like us, you believe who you are should not be determined by where you start off in life, then please get in touch with us to see how we can work together.
Hey, brilliant, brilliant.
Well done.
As you can see, we're all working on them.
Yeah.
Use the ball.
So that's the elevator pitch, and really they say that the elevator pitch is your chance to, if you were traveling in an elevator, for you to actually sell yourself and your business within like 30 to 60 seconds, basically. So that is essentially our attempt at our elevator pitch. So has anybody got any feedback, any comments or anything like that they want to throw into the chat or come off mute just to give us, because it'd be really helpful.
Everyone's really shy, I can tell already.
Seems like it, yeah.
Well, if you've got any comments afterwards, feel free to let us know in the chat. We're open to constructive criticism.
Constructive criticism.
So that's absolutely fine. Obviously, we are continuing to develop and grow, and it's something that we're working on all the time. So outside of Sister to Sister and our business and our academic, accolades, I really enjoy traveling. I enjoy reading. I've just published my first book, and just socialising with friends, really. So that's a little bit about me. Definitely love travelling. Ladies, do you want to just say any hobbies, interests that you've got outside of Sister to Sister?
You can go, okay.
Yeah, I too like travelling. Pre-COVID, it seems like such a long time ago we was all even able to do that. But I too do like to travel. I like dining out. I like socialising. I like a cocktail or two. I also like to read. Because I'm also studying at the same time, I don't really get to do that as much as I'd like to. But yeah, that's me. So how about you, Dee?
It's very similar, really. Very similar hobbies outside of like our day-to-day grind. Yeah, I like reading, love reading. I've been reading from, everyone on my estate just knows me for reading, love reading. So reading, I enjoy traveling, shopping, online shopping, all that. Going out for drinks, love socializing, and I also just like when I get the chance to just chill with my two girls on the sofa and just watch like rubbish like Real Housewives of Atlanta and anything on Netflix and all that kind of stuff. So please don't judge me, but that is what I like to do.
I've just started watching that, so I can't say anything.
So that's me. Yeah.
Lovely. Okay, so the reason that we're here this evening is to tell you about how we started Sister to Sister during the pandemic. But before we kind of get into that, I just wanted to know if there's anyone here that was currently, feeling fulfilled within their roles, so in your day job or in your business. So if you're able to, if you're feeling fulfilled and happy in your role, can you put a number 1 in the chat? If you're feeling a little bit, unfulfilled, wanting to perhaps navigate something different, do you want to put a number 2 in the chat for us? Just so we can kind of see who's living in their passion and purpose and who might be, pondering and deciding that maybe they want to take a different route. So number one, if you're feeling fulfilled, and number two, if you're thinking, actually, I'm not feeling too fantastic in what I'm doing. Can anyone see the chat?
Yeah, I can. So you've got some ones, Shan, so that's good.
Okay, brilliant, fantastic. So that's, amazing. And I think it's really important to stress, for us anyway, that doing things that you enjoy, that you're passionate about, is key. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my journey. Just going to move the slide over. Okay. So we've done that. So yeah, your greatest burden is unfulfilled potential. So I'll just tell you a little bit about how I arrived at Sister to Sister. Okay. So I'm a qualified primary school teacher. That's my background. And I graduated from university about 2008, worked in education, and came out of primary and then moved into secondary school and did various roles within the education sector until I landed myself a job within training. So I was working in a role where I was actually really successful, got lots of promotions, and really climbed the social ladder, and the corporate ladder rather, in that job. Now, part of that role involved grading teachers and giving them feedback on their performance, how well they taught, essentially. And as the years were going by, the environment became toxic. The way that if the teachers didn't improve, there was this culture of kind of getting them out. And I started to realise it didn't align with who I was. I was all about supporting teachers to become better teachers. But when the environment started to become toxic and quite cutthroat, I started to feel like it didn't fit with who I was. So I visualised a new job. I wanted a job that allowed me to be paid more, that had more managerial responsibilities, and that allowed me to work from home. So I handed my notice in without a plan B, and just knew within 4 weeks I needed to find something. Within that 4 weeks, I found I was offered 2 jobs, but I took a job that fulfilled all the things that I wanted. So I was working there in a managerial position, working from home, which is one of the things I wanted, and I was earning a lot more than I was previously. Fantastic. I was there just under a year, and unfortunately I was made redundant. So I had to find another role. Again, nerves and worry came in. Being made redundant, you're not really sure what's going to happen. But I found a job straight away. Brilliant. The job that I went into, again, was still in education and training, but it was a very new company, and the directors of that organisation had very, very to none experience in education, training, qualifications. So what I started to feel was like I was giving more than I was getting. I didn't find there was much room for progression, because I was the one that was actually, in a roundabout way, running that training provider. So whilst they were gaining a lot from me in terms of my skills and my expertise and my experience, I didn't feel like there was going to be much way for me to navigate and progress. So that started to make me think about my next steps. I think the catalyst for me leaving that job was when I asked for the day off to take my daughter to university. At the time, she was, you can go on university campus tours, and I asked for the day off and they declined it. And that just did something inside of me. I was like, I was more than annoyed. So in January 2019, I decided that I was going to hand my notice in and I was going to work for myself. Never worked for myself before. I've always worked from the age of about 14. So I didn't really have any idea what I was going into, but I just thought, I'm leaving this job and I'm just going to give it a go. So I left January 2019 and I set up my own tuition business, using my skills to support young people with their GCSE studies. That involved lots of travelling in the evenings, weekends, especially when, May to June time come, when that's a crucial month for GCSEs. So I was very busy in the evenings and the weekends. Whilst I loved the feedback and the support that I was able to give to these young people and the success rates that I had, evening work in the snow sometimes over the winter periods, it wasn't great. So as we've mentioned before, we all enjoy reading and personal development. And I started to look at the skills that I had, which are aligned with education, helping, supporting, educating young people, and really look at how I wanted to be remembered So I started looking deeply into legacy. So not being, you know, when you pass away, not being known for materialistic things, not being known for, you know, the holidays that you've taken. I actually wanted something that was going to be more of value. So we all set about looking into that on a personal level, and I decided that I wanted to use my skills and expertise to actually support and mentor young women between the ages of 13 and 21 to live a life full of passion and purpose. And that's how we derived at Sister to Sister. So if anyone here is listening who feels as though they are in a role that's unfulfilling, making them feel mentally drained, perhaps toxic, perhaps you know, in a job that the management isn't quite right for you, or you're just feeling like it's time to set yourself free. You know, by no means am I saying walk out of your job like I did, but if you've got faith and conviction and a strong will and you've got some determination, then I'm proof that it can be done, and just give it a go. So that's a little bit about how we've derived at Sister to Sister. So I'll hand you over to Dionne and she'll tell you a little bit more. You're on mute, Dionne.
You got a question, Sham?
Okay, can you read it for us? I can't see.
Well, firstly, Pamela says bravo.
Oh, thanks, Pam.
That's well done. And also you're being asked, what was your biggest fear about setting up business for yourself?
Income. So when I left my job in 2019, I didn't have, and still don't have, masses of savings to say I'm going to leave my job and, you know, what am I going to live on? So that was my biggest fear, like, oh my goodness, you're leaving a job, no plan B, like, who do you think you are? But actually, I knew I was somebody, and I knew that I've got friends, I've got family, you know, I wasn't going to starve, I'm resourceful, I've got skills. And by the fact that I work in education, there's always going to be a need to support young people. So, yeah, so the biggest fear was lost, you know, reduced income or generating income, but I just used the skills that I had and just went for it. Yeah, hope that answers your question.
That's brilliant, that is, because it's just showing that, like, as you said, you yourself was enough, you are somebody, and on top of that, you know, you've actually used your skills to your strengths to actually, like, drive forward your passion. So that's amazing, that is.
Thank you very much.
It's good, really, really good. Very inspirational.
I try.
Right, okay, so in terms of personal development, that really did shape the way in which we move forward to decide to go with a social enterprise, which also known as a community interest company. As Chantel said, you know, all three of us absolutely love personal development, and we've really been using it for a number of years to kind of grow as individuals. Now, during the pandemic, as Jermaine said at the start, it's been very, very difficult for people for a number of different reasons. But on the flip side of it as well, it has given people that time really to kind of reflect in terms of where they want to go, what they want to do. And I think it's probably forced people to actually start to really think about and like, you know, navigate their lives and pivot between different things that they have been doing and directions of travel. But as I said, for us, we really did use it as time for reflection. Now, we were reading two main books during the pandemic that really I could say were the catalysts for us starting to think about living a life with a lot more purpose and vision. And those were the Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, and also The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. I always feel so uncomfortable saying it. But we're all adults, and it is only the book cover that I'm repeating. Has anybody read those books at all?
Just drop us in the chat, or
yeah,
because there was both inspiration and, you know, if you've not and you are into reading personal development, definitely put them on your list of books to
Pamela, are you saying that you've read The Miracle Morning? Oh, you've just started it. Oh, I don't want to spoil it for you, but I'm gonna have to. Not completely, not completely. No matter what I tell you about it anyway. Miracle Morning is a kind of book recommended by Chantel. Did Chantel tell it you on one of her pages? Yeah, so basically, yeah, Miracle Morning is one of them. I wouldn't be able to spoil it for you anyway, because it really is subjective. You're going to read that book and you're going to interpret it to your own life anyway, so I'm not going to be able to spoil it for you. But in any event, that the Subtle Art of the Mark Manson book, that basically focuses on the importance of standing up for what you believe and making sure that you're moving in alignment with your vision and your purpose. And the Miracle Morning, that actually takes you through like a 30-day challenge. Okay, that makes sense, Pamela. Chantel's getting about how Chantel is. So the Miracle Morning, that basically takes you through like a 30-day challenge, a 30-day journey, whereby you use 6 kind of activities, so called savers. So it's like silence, and during that silence you might want to meditate, you might want to do something to do with like your faith, spirituality. And for me, I spend that time like meditating and reading my Bible and praying. The A, that's for affirmation. V is your vision, visualizing, visual boards, that kind of thing. E is the exercise. R is the reading. And the S is the scribing, so journaling, that kind of thing. And during that time, whilst reading that book and going through that 30-day Miracle Morning challenge, which, to telling you, it is an absolute game changer, that book is. And I started reading that book in March 2020. And I have continued to do my savers from then until this day. And I don't do it every single day, but I do it more often than not. So for 7 days in a week, I do it at least 5. Yes. So and that's because I'm just so prone to doing it now. It is part and parcel of my everyday and personal development routine, and I've never looked back from it. And in that book started to get us to really think about, as Chantel said, what do you want to do? What do you want to be remembered as? You know, what is your passion? Are you actually living your life in accordance with your passion and your purpose? And you know, a good thing about the book is that it actually asks you, it challenges you to request feedback from your family and friends. Now, it was an opportune moment for me, actually, because I was coming 39 when I read this book, and now I'm coming 40. And basically, in the book, it asks you to, as I said, request the feedback. So what we did is we went out to like 30 family and friends, and I said, look, I'm coming 39, 1 year till I'm 40. I really want to know from you, you know me, I trust you, and I want you to basically tell me how I'm showing up to you as a person. Give me some feedback, you know, we'll take it on board, even if it's like, you know, just don't hold back. I'm not going to go mad. Just, you know, be straightforward in terms of like the kind of things that you think. And the feedback that I got, I kind of turned it into a book, actually. I turned it into a book like this, and I just put all the feedback that I got into this book. And essentially, the common theme that ran through the feedback that I was receiving was things like, you know, you're determined, you're inspirational, you're a role model, perhaps you should be working with young girls, you should be sharing your experiences. And it kind of humbled me to think that family and friends look at me like that. There were some other negative comments as well, but we won't go into that. But anyway, but on the main, it was really, 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 really positive. And as I said, it was humbling, but then it did start to make me think, well, actually, maybe I should be doing a lot more. Now, when I die, what do I want to be leaving behind? Do I just want to be known as, oh, Dionne Barrett, yeah, she was a nice girl, you know, she was mother of 2 kids, Well, actually, no. I wanted to be, when I go, I want to be recognised for saying, you know, Dionne Barrett, she lived with passion, she lived with to her purpose, she's a role model for a girl, she's giving back to the community. Do you know what I mean? So that's the kind of legacy that I wanted to be leaving behind. And that's what the Miracle Morning did for me. Now, what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to read you just a couple of excerpts from this book that I found really resonated with me. And that was that your levels of success will rarely exceed our level of personal development, because success is something we attract by who we become. Now, that's quite pertinent, that is, because basically what it's saying is that in order to be successful, you need to grow. So the more you keep growing, the more you're going to be successful. So success will never, ever kind of outweigh your growth, because you'll always grow to get successful. So I thought that was quite strong, really, and quite pertinent. The next thing is, it says, remember this truth: now matters more than any other time in your life, because it's what you are doing today that is determining who you're becoming. And who you're becoming will always determine the quality and direction of your life. Now that there is just so, it's just like so profound, because how I see it is, you know, our motto is all about who you're going to become, and that's the ethos of Sister to Sister, and that's what we're doing, is trying to encourage and empower young girls, ethnic minority girls, to actually realise that they can be the best version of themselves that they can be. So, you know, just little things like that kind of started to help us build the kind of picture that we wanted to go into when we were looking at our business. And so what happened was, Chantel and I were kind of thinking, yeah, like, you know, we want to do something. So we kind of went away and we wrote down our own little ideas about what we wanted. And what the amazing thing was, is when we came together, it seemed as though all of our ideas aligned, didn't it, Shan?
They did, yeah. It's like
it was amazing.
Paper.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. And then from there, we then brought Kanika into it, and Kanika was like, wow, like, yeah, like this is all in alignment with her vision and purpose as well. So it was really, really good how it all worked out. It just seemed like it was just completely blessed. It just all fused together. And then what happened was, on the 20th of June, then 2020, that's when our Sister to Sister social enterprise was incorporated. So that's that is the day for us, basically. So I just wanted to see, like, has anybody either read a personal development book, or as a result of personal development they've done, it really started them into doing something that they probably wouldn't have otherwise done, or achieved something that they wouldn't have thought that they had in them?
Someone said that they're reading The Magic by Rhonda Byrne, with similar concepts. So perfect. I need to add that on my
that's one that I can add to the list. And I think I've seen that. I actually think I've seen it today, actually, on Instagram. Somebody mentioned that book.
The Magic. We'll
that's
add that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Brilliant.
My Year of Yes. Yeah.
Shonda Rhimes. Oh wow.
Yeah, I've heard of
Have
that
you heard
one.
of that one, Kay?
I have, yeah. I know it's supposed to be good.
Is it? Okay.
Like Shonda Rhimes anyway, yeah.
I'm gonna have to write these down.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Right.
Oh, that's brilliant. Okay. So following on from, why is it not going on to the next screen? Following on from that, it's all about the fact of, like, your why being so strong that not even a pandemic should stop you from actually working on your goals. And I think that is really, really important. Again, in the same book, in this Miracle Morning, it does say that the average person can't articulate their life purpose, the compelling why that drives them to wake up every day and do whatever it takes to fulfill their mission in life. So that's their purpose. And, like, you probably have heard the saying that basically says your why should be so strong that it can make you cry. Now, if your why is so strong that it can make you cry, that is your motivation, that's your determination, that's your drive. That's what's going to get you through anything to ensure that you achieve the goal that you've set out to be. and as we said, pandemic, nothing is going to stop you from doing that if your why is so strong that it can make you cry. It's what makes you get out of bed every morning. That's what makes you struggle and juggle things and overcome barriers. It hasn't been easy at all for us during the pandemic, with like working, juggling home commitments and other things that arise. But because our why was so strong, because our why aligned with our passion, that's what enables us to be able to keep on going on and being able to move forward towards the goals of like, you know, setting up Sister to Sister. Another book that I've read that I think is really, really good, and that's all about your why, is this book here, which is Start With Your Why by Simon Sinek. I don't know if anybody's seen this book before. Has anyone seen this book or heard of this book before?
Not sure.
No, not sure. Okay, well, just very quickly, this book actually tells you that you should start with your why. So normally when people want to influence somebody, get somebody on board, they normally start with you know, what they're going to do, what, how, why, or what, why, how. That's how they normally do it. When actually you want to influence somebody, you want to get them on board, you always start with your why. And that's because your why is your passion, your why is your belief, your why is your purpose, your why is all about you. So for example, if I try and put this into context, if we think of Sister to Sister, for instance, like I started to do Sister to Sister because I wanted to be able to share my experiences that I've had, the personal development that I've done, the growth that I've had, share it with young, Black, ethnic minority girls who I believe might have faced similar experiences to me in life. I wanted to share that with them and support them and empower them. And that's why I kind of did this. That's why I got involved with Sister to Sister. So that's my why. And then the how that we do that, that's through like a bespoke empowerment program, through our one-to-one mentoring package, and the what is just Sister to Sister. Now, from listening to all that we've talked about, you're going to buy into Sister to Sister, not because of what it does, not because of the name. You're going to buy into it because of where we're coming from the passion that we have. And that's what it is. It's called the Golden Circle. You already influence somebody by your reasons for doing it. That's your why. That's your why being so strong. So I'm just going to ask Kanika and Chantel, why did you start Sister to Sister? Shaki, you start first. Why did you start it?
Okay, yeah, because for me personally, I work with a lot of young females who have mental health issues, and I could see that really without any intervention, they just become adults with mental health issues. And I felt as though they needed some kind of support, some kind of, you know, something behind them to help them realize their vision and purpose, like we've been saying. And so for me, it aligns with what my passion is, which is mental health and supporting young females. So
there we go. Okay, Shan, sorry.
A couple of reasons. So my why being a definite legacy, you know, wanting to leave something that could be continued long after I've gone, and just to be that voice, that sounding board for young girls who haven't got that, you know, opportunity.
You see, and you see, listening to that, you know, whether it be someone who wants to invest in your business, whether it's someone that wants to buy your services, they're interested in why you're doing it. And even if your service is expensive, if they're loyal and they're passionate, they brought in to your why, they're not going to care about that. They're not even going to go on to another competitor, because they're going to be interested about the reasons as to why you're doing your business. Do you see what I mean? And that's where you get your loyal, long-standing customers from, those that have brought into your why. Even in this book, it says when an organization must be clear about its purpose, cause, or belief, and make sure that everything they say and do is consistent with and authentic to that belief. Even when we have our strategic meetings, we always, and people want to collaborate with us or meet with us, the first thing that we talk about is, well, does it align with what we want to do? Does it align with our passion and our purpose and what Sister to Sister is all about? Because if it doesn't align with it, We're not interested. We don't care what that other person's doing or what they can bring to the table. If it doesn't align with the vision for Sister to Sister and the passion that we've put into it, then we don't bother with it, because that is our why for doing Sister to Sister. I hope that you guys get that and you follow that, and you can see how you can use that in terms of your own businesses as well. Very clear. Thanks, Pam. And it just shows that with that why, that real entrepreneurial spirit that we had, that is what got us nominated and shortlisted as finalists for the Great British Entrepreneurial Awards in 2020. And that was just within 3 months of us incorporating Sister to Sister as a business. So yeah, it really is so strong. I don't know, has anybody else yeah, there we go. Picture. Thanks, Shan. Just to confirm, does anybody else have any views at all about having a strong why, or can anybody share an experience where their why has really pushed them to do something that they dreamed of?
I can't share anything from a personal level, but what I can say is on last week's room, it was basically, we had life coaches on, and literally their focus was on developing people and making sure people go for their goals and stuff like that. But it's exactly the same message, whether it's a person going for a particular goal or wanting to change something in their life, to an organization. It's exactly the same thing. You have to have a clear vision. You need to have a purpose. And as you've already said, it's about being passionate about the reasons why you want to make that change, or why you want to do something specifically. So like I say, it's the same theme across most things that happened in 2021. If you wanted to make a change, that was what you had to incorporate.
That's right. Yes. Definitely.
Perfect.
Definitely.
Okay.
No, thanks for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm just trying to control.
You got it.
There we go. Thank you. Sorry about that. Okay, so Dionne's told you all about our why. Very passionate speech there, Dee. Thank you. Yeah, you know, I was listening like I was listening to the first time myself. Thank you for that. So I'll tell you a little bit after that. I'll tell you a little bit about actually what we do, the work that we do. So we have a few programs that we offer. The first one I'll talk about is the Educational Empowerment Program. So this is a program, an 8-week empowerment program that we run in educational settings, such as secondary schools, academies, pupil referral units, anywhere that there's an educational establishment, really. And this is working with, as we've said, young ethnic minority females between the age of 13 to 21 generally. And it's an 8-week program. We deliver it face-to-face or online, or it can be a combination of both. With the pandemic and the up and down that we've been having in school, not in school, and we had to adapt our program to make sure that it was accessible to everyone. So our sessions are usually weekly, and the duration is about an hour, and we have cohorts of about 10 students, although we are flexible with the schools that we work with. And our programs, so on a weekly basis, our program will be things like self-discovery, and we have discussions, we do a lot of independent work, group work, journal writing, guest speakers. So there's a whole mixture of things for them, really. I do have a few examples of the things that we do. Okay, you can see on this slide, this is an example of one of the schools that we're working in and some of the things that we do. So like I was saying, the girls will work together, it'll be independent. We have, we show them videos as well and clips of motivational speakers to get them to, you know, to fit with the message of the day that we're delivering. Again, all of the girls have targets that they want to meet, and you can see here, I don't know if you can see the slide. For this particular individual said that she wants to turn a bad situation into a good one. She doesn't want to give up, and she wants to reach a personal goal. Okay, so what we do at the end of each session as well, we get the students to rate their session out of 5. And we do usually get 4s and 5s actually, and we also ask them to let us know what it is that we could do to make the session better. Move on. Okay, we also have a Big Sister program. So our Big Sister program, we work one-to-one with children, again, around the same age range, between 13 and 21. And what we do here is a 12-month program, again, can be delivered face-to-face or online, or a combination of both. It's generally a year-long program, and they'll have regular contact with their mentor, and we basically do the same thing we do in our empowerment program, but it's on a one-to-one basis. And also, we can do this, like I said, online, it can be on the phone. Again, the delivery is very bespoke to them. And what I haven't told you about is our community empowerment program. I think the slide just jumped, but that is the same as our educational empowerment program, but we deliver that in like churches, youth clubs, any type of community provision. We will deliver the same program. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just not.
Is it? Got it.
Okay. Yeah. So here we have one of our testimonials. This is from one of the parents who Chantel was working with, and she's talking. She sent Chantel an email after her daughter's first mentoring session, and as you can see there, her daughter came out buzzing from the first session. So it was nothing like a counselling session. They're just looking forward to the next session, and this is generally the type of feedback that we get from our young girls. Again, another thank you. Another testimony to say that, you know, that the young person was really enjoying the session. Okay, so moving on to how you can get involved. So we're having a few opportunities for everyone to get involved with what we do. So like it says, you know, you can register to become a volunteer. We are looking for volunteers, especially for our Big Sister program. So if your vision aligns with ours, as Dionne was saying, that's a way to get involved and you know, work with these young girls that we're working with. Also, you can follow us on social media. So we have a look. Yeah. So this is our social media handles. So if we can just give you a few moments to follow us as we're here. We know everybody's busy. Everybody will come off the Zoom and then get back to their busy lives as we do as well. So we'll just give you a few moments if you want to take down this information and follow us.
We've got a goal, haven't we?
Yes,
yes, that's it. Yes.
Yeah, just to add to that, we've got this quarter. Our goal is to get over 1,000 followers on our social media. So if you can, just jump on and find us, and you'll be helping us reach our one of our quarterly goals for our social media.
That's it. Yeah.
Outcomes. So I'll take a screenshot or jump on and find us quickly if you can. Yeah. That'd be fantastic.
And even when this is recorded and uploaded, everyone that listens to us on the recorded show, then please also follow us and help us achieve our goal. Wow.
Yeah, help us reach our goal.
There's over 150,000 members.
Yeah.
I'll post all your socials as well in the Facebook group, and I'll pin it to the top so everyone can see it.
Thank you.
That's great. Thank you.
That'll be great. Thank you. Okay, so I think you've got the message now. Follow us.
Engage. We go back on a minute.
Go back a bit, Key, because I think there's other things, wasn't there?
Sorry. Go back. Okay.
Other way.
Okay. Now you're testing mine.
Oh, do you want me to?
Yes, please.
Hold on a minute. Sorry. Let's just go back a second. So there's other ways that you could hold on.
Contact us.
Yeah, there's other ways that you could help us and support the sister to sister. So let's just go back. There you go. So Kanika mentioned about becoming a volunteer and following us on social media, and there's some other ways as well.
Yeah, so as it says, you know, also if you work within an educational community sector, if you could also find out how you can support us with our young females, get in touch with us, because we're always looking for to collaborate with people and, you know, work together to find out, you know, where we're needed. Also, we sell gift cards as well. You can see that on our social media pages as well. So if you can purchase a gift card, that can be for your daughter, sister, cousin, goddaughter, next door neighbour, anybody you feel as though might benefit from our services. Again, the information's on our website. So if you was able to, you know, that would be a really great gift for somebody rather than, you know, birthday comes, you want to get them I don't know what young people like, like a new bag, clothes, trainers, yes, anything like that. You know, this would be a really good investment into their future, actually.
And
that
actually,
might be something you want to look at.
Just to add to that, we noticed at Christmas, didn't we, that a lot of when we did the promotion of the gift cards, a lot of people were buying them as an alternative to, or as well as the trainers, the iPhone, etc.
Yeah.
So if you are looking for an alternative gift for a young person between the age of 13 and 1, you know, we have got gift cards available for. We've got a 3-month gift card and we've got a 6-month gift card that you can purchase. All details are on our website.
But you know what, as well, though, it's probably worth mentioning, because this is what did happen at Christmas is as at least, about 5 or 6 people actually brought these gift cards just as donations, didn't they? They didn't have anyone in mind. But the amazing thing was, they were like, I'm going to purchase a 3-month gift card, and we want you to donate it to a girl. Just let us know how she's getting on, and how they're progressing with it, and it was like, wow, like that is just amazing that you're going to just invest in someone, you don't know who it is, but trusting us to invest in the right person. And that's what they did. They just brought it as a donation to another girl, which was fantastic, really.
Okay, funny.
Yeah, it's just I don't know why it's deciding that it doesn't want to move screens.
Doesn't want to play ball.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, so this is our contact details, how you can find us. You know, we've got our main inquiry box there, and also our individual email addresses, and also our contact telephone number. So if you want to get in touch with us, whether that be to get in touch with you know, regarding the mentoring program, volunteering and working with us, collaborating with us, that's how you can get in touch with us. Okay, yeah, we're also open to donations. So whether that be stationery, anything that the young girls can use. Yeah, do you want to add anything to that, ladies? What type of donations?
I think as a social enterprise, we generally have to work upon funding, because we're a not-for-profit organisation. Anything that we do, anything that we generate has to be reinvested back in the business. Now, when we started Sister to Sister, again, I've got to mention it being because of our why. When we started it, we intentionally wanted it to be a social enterprise whereby we weren't going to be making any profit, because the whole purpose of us doing it was to give back to our community. So that's why we decided to go down the social enterprise route. So any donations that we get are really, really helpful. They're helpful for us to be able to put on our programs and buy materials that we need, to be able to treat the girls that we work with as well, to like away days, and to be able to put on different events and things like that for them. And we do have like other organisations that we collaborate with, whereby we might have to pay small amounts for them to do work with the girls. And you know, any donations that we get, we can use that to be able to help fund those opportunities. So yeah, stationery is always a massive one, because we need stationery. I mean, we've even got chocolates on there, because we bring chocolates and sweets and things. So we're grateful for anything, because as I said, we're a social enterprise. So you know, beggars can't be choosers, really. So we're grateful for everything.
And we do give the girls goodie bags at the end of each workshop, you know, after the
award ceremony, don't we?
So, you know, if you're not able to necessarily give a monetary donation, but you're able, you know, you've got paper or pens or blue tack. These are all things that, you know, we use so much, you know,
access to these things.
You know, it doesn't have to be monetary items either at all, you know. All helps. Yeah, perfect.
That's it. Okay, so we've got a giveaway. I know we're coming near to the end, so perfect timing. And so we've got a giveaway. So we have a question, and the question is, I don't know, well, at the beginning, Dionne was telling you when we first set up this business.
Test now to see if you were listening.
Yeah, well, this is it. And that's all, you know. Okay, so we just wanted to know if anyone can tell us the date that we actually set up this social enterprise. So what was the date that Sister started? If you can put your answer in the chat, you can put the date in the chat. The first person with the answer. Wow. Okay.
Pamela.Ram,
okay, people are quick.
Whoa, first with the
that
first.
Was really quick. Yeah.
I've got somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So
the winner.
20th of June. Who was the first?
I think it's got to be. I think it has to be Antonia, because she did say the 20th.
Yes, I think that's the date, the 20th of June. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
you
well
were
done.
almost there, Pam.
That was so quick. That I hadn't even
Yeah.
that was so quick.
And I'm glad that you were listening. Thank you very much.
Yeah. What we'll do, we'll be sending you one of our sister mugs. They're really good quality, actually. Yep.
Oh,
she's got, brilliant. They're actually
Oh,
really
that's
good
lovely.
quality.
Thank you.
Yeah. Don't worry, we won't have our face on. We'll be sending you one of the ones that don't have our face on.
So, Antonio, if you get in
on.
contact with us, and give us our your details, either on DM, Insta, whatever it is, and then we can then arrange to send it out to you.
Perfect.
Yeah, no problem. I will do. Thank you.
Thanks, darling. Thank you.
Well done.
Okay. So we just wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you for listening to us rambling on for an hour. We hope that you've been inspired, encouraged, perhaps motivated, or even concurred the fact that you are on the right track and that you are living, life with passion and purpose. You've had loads of book recommendations, that might help you to develop and grow personally. Hopefully you found out a little bit more about the sister to sister, the faces behind the brand, and I know you've been asking questions as we've gone along, but we've got a few moments, 5 minutes or so. If anyone's got any questions, they can pop them in the chat or come on and just ask us anything about what any of us spoke about or the business itself. We're happy to take any questions.
Time to have a little bit of a chat.
Yeah. So any questions can be put in the chat, or if you want to just ask them directly, you can come on. If not,
we'll see if we've got any brave souls.
Doesn't look like it. No.
I'll give them a second just in case they're typing it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, that's true. Okay.
While we're doing that, I just want to say it's fantastic business that you guys have set up, and it's an even better story of the reasons why, like you say. So I just want to congratulate you in what you're doing, and you're making a real change in a lot of people's lives, and so may it continue.
Thank you. Thank you. And also thank you for the opportunity to have it, us on the platform. We'll really welcome that as well.
Yeah, that's why we set up Black Owned Economy, for businesses like yourself, and so you've got a bit more reach to the people who are out there, and hopefully people will watch this and contact you to whether they want to I don't know, inquire about being a volunteer, whether they want to purchase one of your mentoring gifts, or whether they've just got questions, or they just want to somehow support you. Because that's the main thing. It's just about all of us supporting one another so that we can all push what we've got going forward. So yeah. Did any questions come through? Did you see anything?
No, I don't think so.
No, you just had someone saying fantastic event. You've had someone saying thank you.
Thanks for coming along.
Yeah, thank you for taking time.
For taking your evening out to spend with us.
And I said, any questions arise afterwards, just get in contact with us. We're quite visible on social media and on our emails and things. So, just reach out to us.
Definitely. And you can also contact Black Owned Economy, because I've got their details. If you're not sure about any of their contact details or their emails, I've written them all down. So, yeah. Oh, you've got a question come through.
Thank you, Zelda.
Okay.
Just think you ladies are a real positive model for everyone. Well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciated.
So thanks again to sister to sister. I'll just quickly talk about where you can catch the video. So the video will be on our website from tomorrow. So that is www.blackowned-economy.co.uk. If you go to our events page and then go to B.O.E Rooms, if you scroll down to the bottom of that page, I will upload the video there. The video will also be on our YouTube channel, which is Black Owned Economy Presents. If you go to the playlist, there's a playlist for B.O.E Rooms on there. So lots of opportunities for you to check out this video if you didn't manage to see it live tonight. So next week we continue the same theme. We're still continuing the theme of 2020 businesses. So we've got another room next Thursday, and then I think we've still got another 3 in April after that. So if you're wanting to check out what the topics are for those rooms, or if you're just wanting to know a little bit more about rooms, head over to our website again. All the information's there. Anything that interests you, you can just click RSVP and it'll send you a link to Zoom. So yeah, I'd just like to thank the girls again for this evening's event, and thank you all for watching, and stay tuned. And the word for today is support.
Oh, thank you. Take care, everyone.
See you all. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Take care. Bye bye.